You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Ian, look at this.
What, it's a police box. What on earth is he doing here? I mean, these things are usually on the street. I feel it. Feel it, you feel it?
Faint vibration.
It's alive.
At Station Who, a fun mashup exploring over 60 years of the Doctor Who universe. Hold on tight. You never know where the crew of the TARDIS is going next.
Hey there, Whovians, and welcome to another episode of our Station Who. That's right, folks. We are back, and we've got a great one for you. We're going back to the world of Big Finish. That's right. We are looking at the Ninth Doctor, and we are, of course, looking at his adventures with the ever-lovely River Song. That's right, folks. We are looking at Star-Crossed, the newest adventures of the Ninth Doctor from Big Finish. And I think after this, Chris said he's going to be done with being the Ninth Doctor for a bit. He didn't say he's going to be done with it. He's never going to do it. He just said for a bit. And, you know, because he probably has other projects that he wants to work on and such.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
But, we'll talk all about it tonight. And folks, if you haven't listened to this one yet, please listen to it. It is awesome. It's 3 stories. We're going to be talking about Swipe Right, Face of the Apocalypse, and what is that one? Archipelago? How do you say it?
Archipelago.
That, this is why I took English 101. That's right, folks. And so, it's...
They're taking geography.
Exactly. I took geography instead, so it's cool. But yes, it's going to be fun to talk all about this, so we are going to be spoiling this one, so you've been warned.
How exciting! Spoilers!
If you want, please, if you're watching this on video on YouTube, or if you're listening to us up on the podcast, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. If you get a chance, please give us a thumbs up, 5 stars, whichever you want to do. And also, of course, like and subscribe. Can't say that enough. We also want to hear from you guys. So please, feedback at ourstationwho.com is always the best way to get in touch with us. Let's say hi to our crew for tonight. Guesting with us, of course, coming back cosplaying as Mr. Mike Gordon is Dave.
Howdy.
And of course, we have Ms. Melanie Dean joining us once again.
Hello, everyone. Look, I'm not banished because I hopefully will keep the ROSE name out of my mouth.
You just spelled it, so,
That's it.
Oh, well, so,
And I'm gone.
Yeah, how do you disconnect people from Zoom? No. And of course, Mike Gordon is off sailing the 7 seas, being Captain Howdy himself. Of course, we're joined by Mary Ogle.
Hi, everybody. It is fantastic to be here.
We are going to have a lot of fun tonight, folks. And we've got some bit of Doctor Who news. Let's hit first before we hit the story. Awesome bit of news. Pictures have come out yesterday as of this recording, which is yesterday was the 19th of August. They did the first table read of The War Between Land and Sea.
Yay.
The Doctor Who spinoff. And we got to see the script. We got to see who was sitting there for the table read. And it was neat seeing them all sit around and, being able to do it. Taping is supposed to start in September for this. So next month. So this is all happening, folks. And, it's also, from what I've heard, it's going to be 5 episodes for the spinoff for the first season. I don't know if it's a 5 and done, or is it going to be a mini series, or is it going to be a continuing series?
Yeah, they haven't really said anything. It almost seems like more like it's a mini series, but I wonder if it's a lead in to a unit spinoff.
I think that would be awesome if they did that, like a prequel type thing.
Right.
Yeah, like they're laying the groundwork towards something, and hopefully, if it pans out, it gets the ratings, all that kind of stuff. They can go, "Yep, this is the next phase."
And if they set it as a limited series, that also qualifies them for a different set of awards when that season rolls around too. They're a limited series as opposed
That's
to
true.
a season 1 of a continuing series.
Exactly. So I think it's pretty awesome. And from what I'm hearing, since filming is, starting next month, they have already came out and said it will be airing in 2025. So next year. And so we're getting the holiday special in December. Mm-hmm. Then we're supposed to get the new season of Doctor Who, season 2, with Ncuti, probably either anywhere from March to May. We don't have a date yet. And that's going to be 8 episodes again. And then we have another Christmas special next year already planned. So other than that, we don't know. So I'm thinking that we're going to see the spinoff, if it's supposed to come out in 2025, I would say probably next September or October. I think
that's about right.
Yeah, I would think it makes sense for it to be in the fall.
Because it's good to keep Doctor Who on everyone's mind, right. And I'm all for it. And you know what? A friend of mine, we were talking about it, and he was asking if I thought Ncuti would show up in the spinoff, and I said no, they don't need that. Like if you think about it, Torchwood didn't have the Doctor in it at all. And you heard his name come up quite a bit, especially from Jack, but you didn't get to actually see the Doctor. And, well, technically saw Capaldi, but that's a whole different thing. Yeah.
Yeah, not the same thing.
Not the same thing. But in Sarah Jane, you did get the Doctor, both 10 and 11 pop up. Mm-hmm. And so it was interesting to see what we got with that. And I think Capaldi ended up in the first episode of Class.
But I believe so.
I never in there somewhere, yeah.
Yes. I think he was in the first episode of Class.
Yeah. So
yes, he was. He was the janitor at the school.
Right. So you know what? We'll see. I'm fine if the Doctor doesn't show up in the spinoff. I would be okay with that.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessary. Maybe even detracts if they're trying to really, go off into something new.
Right, exactly. And these are characters that we know already from, series. And I think that alone, they can always have a crossover with I'm sure we'll see Unit again. We'll see Kate Stewart again in Doctor Who. So, we'll see Unit somehow pop up. So I'm fine with that. I don't think that we need to have the Doctor to make it.
I think this is just another way to showcase Kate getting a former companion again in Martha. And just be like, oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we know already she's already part of it when we last saw her. But now it's just kind of another on-air kind of...
But it's interesting when they announced the cast, Freema was not in there. Mm-hmm. She's been, there were news reports before they did the official casting at San Diego, but they didn't, and Freema didn't come up in that one. So I'll be very curious if she'll come in like halfway through or what, because like Mary said last time, the actress who played her sister on Doctor Who is in this series. So we'll have to wait and see.
And not as the sister.
Right. She's not playing the sister.
Rumored.
Okay.
Yeah. The reports is she's not. She's playing a totally different character.
Yeah.
Same with the other returning actor.
That's what different character. Also.
So Russell
Alfonso.
Russell won't be. So Russell Tovey won't be playing Alfonso.
Alonzo. Sorry,
Alonzo.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot. I was like Alonzo.
Yeah. I've heard they're both different characters, which is actually a Doctor Who tradition.
Oh yeah.
Using same actors, different characters.
Well, exactly. Hey,
people in British cinema.
Don't you look like no? Nope.
That's my fifth cousin on my uncle's side.
Exactly. So what does that make us? Nothing. No.
Which is what you are about to become.
The Schwartz is big with you. No. Okay. All right. We're going down a bad path. So of course we are. Of course. Also, I don't know if anyone's into comics. The second issue of the 15th Doctor series has come out. And so I picked up the first two, and a fun series, folks. If you ever get a chance to read the comics by Titan, they've done a great job at the Doctor Who stuff. And, you know, I gave up on reading a lot of the Doctor Who comics just because there were so many of them coming out for a while. And it was just like, here's my paycheck. Just give me Doctor Who comics, you know?
Yeah.
So it was just like, so I decided to go back because I think before this, the last thing I read was the Renegade Doctor series, the Ruth Doctor. And that was awesome. And then also the Missy series was also great because she was teaming up with Roger Delgado's Master, and she was pretending to be the Doctor. It was awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is just awesome. And so, you know, so there was some pretty cool stuff in there. But definitely, you know, folks, the comics are doing great. Definitely check that out. Also coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, of course, a lot of the fans in the audience were yelling, "When's River Song coming back? When's River Song coming back?" And Russell, in an interview, has said that she is not coming back, at least as Alex Kingston. So, do you guys think, would they bring her back, River Song back, as a different actress or have her regenerate?
I mean, anything's possible, especially if there's an episode Stephen Moffat is writing.
Yeah.
He could write for the third series.
Right.
So that may be why Russell T hedged his bets.
Well, exactly. Well, you know, last we saw her, she was trapped. Well, not trapped. Her consciousness was in the moon computer. Yeah. And so, you know, they could show her consciousness going into a different, like a android or another person or something. And a bank. Yeah. Of course she'd be a bank.
I mean, Big Finish is resurrecting her.
Yes, they are.
Next line. They've already said it's River out of the library.
Is it out of the library? Because I had heard rumor that it was adventures of her in the library. So
I've heard that it's out of the library.
Okay. So to be determined. It's Big Finish. Out. Exactly. We'll be reviewing it eventually. We still have
all of the above.
We still have another 4 more River Song adventures for the diary to still go through on the series. So, you know, and then we'll get up to the whatever they call it, the death and life of River Song, I think they're calling it. So it's going to be interesting to see, folks. You know, but you know, for me, Alex Kingston is River Song. I don't want to see somebody else playing River. You know, it's like seeing a cosplayer as River. You know, I don't want to see, you know, I like all the cosplayers. Don't get me wrong, folks. You know, Dragon Con's coming up in 2 weeks, and we're going to have a crap load of River Songs there. So, you know, but you know what? It's like, I want the real thing if I see her, you know, in Doctor Who. So, just saying.
I mean, to be fair, we have had 2 other actresses play River. A child and a teenage River, so
right. And you know,
what are they doing these days?
Yeah, what's Mel's doing? I think she's
the actress who played Mel's was awesome.
Yep, and the actress who played Mel's, I think, is in one of the big finishes that we still have coming. So
cool.
So we'll see. Fingers crossed, folks. So you know what? I think that's awesome. And the one thing, you know, we have fun looking forward to, we're going to have a lot of Doctor Who to talk about. And RTD is, like we said, he's keeping Doctor Who in the news. He's keeping everyone aware of it. So it's not, you know, just fading in like, all right, what time is it? Chibnall did, you know. So,
right.
Yeah,
I just realized there is more news.
Oh.
Because there's 2 audio books coming out.
Oh, that's right.
That's read by Susan Twist and featuring 15 and is it Millie Gibson? Millie Gibson. Ruby, thank you.
Yep. Yes. And so it's good.
Mel on the brain now.
Exactly. You know, it's not a bad thing, you know, drink some carrot juice and, you know, have Mel on the brain. So it's a good thing. But yeah, I saw that today about the books, the audiobooks. And so should be good. But no, they don't feature, it's the characters, but it's like Mary said, it's Susan Twist reading one of them, I think. And there's a second actress reading the second one, I think. So it's pretty cool. And, I'm very much excited for any kind of new Doctor Who stuff. So I'm sure we'll listen to it. And that is not Big Finish either, I think.
I don't think so. I think it's just
those are books.
It's an audio book.
Audio books, yeah.
They're not fully staged plays. They're audio books.
Exactly. Because when I saw that, audio is coming of the 15th Doctor, it's like, damn, that was quick. It's like, wow, Shooty's really excited to play the Doctor. So that's pretty awesome, folks. And you know what? I think it's going to be great. And you know what? I think we need to now take a break and come back, and we will talk all about the Ninth Doctor and River Song.
Monkeying around. Look at the picture and tell me what you see.
I see a sitcom whose cast became a real band.
Whose creators were founding members of the New Hollywood movement.
This is obviously a bunny and a chicken.
Looks like a band who sold 75 million records.
And who should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It's a bunny and a chicken.
4 consecutive #1 albums.
A bunny and a chicken.
2 Emmy Awards.
A bunny and a chicken.
Monkeying around.
A bunny and a chicken.
Podcast about the monkeys.
A bunny and a chicken.
Welcome back. Now it's time to talk all about the Ninth Doctor and River Song in Star-Crossed. We're going to talk all about it, but I have to say right off from the beginning, I am thrilled they didn't use the Diary of River Song theme on this one.
Oh, God.
So, because, well, technically it is a Ninth Doctor story, and it just happens to be with River Song.
Yeah, well, it's actually part of the Ninth Doctor range.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the Diary of River Song.
No, exactly. And boy, these were fun stories. It took on online dating right away, and swiping left, swiping right. You have rejected too many people. You will die now. I was like, okay,
that's one way to deal with overpopulation.
And it's funny because, there were times when I was single and I used to do the dating apps and stuff or the programs. And it was just like, I felt like, God, please, somebody kill me. I'm never going to find somebody on here.
They had dating apps way back when you were single.
Yes, back in the old days.
Dark
they were called VHS tapes.
Exactly.
I was almost going to say I was going to say personal ads didn't allow photos.
Matchmaker, make me a match. Exactly.
And that he makes that comment that he makes that comment about Fiddler on the Roof with the Topol.
Oh, that's right, he does.
Of course I do. I'm allowed to because, it's my people. So it's awesome. But yeah, it was fun. And Chris and Alex, right from the very first scene, have chemistry out the wazoo. This is
absolutely.
It was just awesome. Let's get initial thoughts for all 3 stories. Let's look at Dave first. What were your initial thoughts on this?
I loved that they had the chemistry, but it was a very antagonistic chemistry through most of it. Loved the first 2 stories. I actually didn't love the third one. Not because it wasn't a good story, but because I think it would have been a better television story. I don't like, it's a very deep, dramatic story.
It's very dramatic. Very, very.
And it is not my favorite in audio dramas.
Okay. That's fair.
Specifically.
What about you, Mary?
I keep going back and forth on this. You and I were talking about this earlier in the day. And at that point in time, I said I thought the third story was my least. I liked all of them, but my third story was probably my least favorite. Now I think it's the second story that's my least favorite. But I actually enjoyed all the stories. I mean, I really feel like the level of writing for this was higher than what we usually get for River Song. I mean, I hate to say it, but I have not felt like the Diaries of River Song have really been as high quality as I would like them to be. But they just,
especially as they go later on and such.
Yeah, they just kind of go downhill. But this one is really good. The chemistry is great, and I feel like the chemistry is there, even though they are antagonistic. But that doesn't mean the sparks are still flying. They're just flying in a different way.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't expect anything less, though, from the Ninth Doctor, too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, he's very in character for the Ninth Doctor, and I'm really glad they didn't just, throw that away. And I also love them coming from the asexual angle, because that is something that is not represented in media very much at all. I mean, you think gay and lesbian aren't represented very much. If you're a bisexual person or an asexual person, it is very hard to find media in which you appear. And so I'm really happy that they decided to go there, and that they even explored that with the Doctor. And so, kudos to you, Big Finish, for not dropping that ball.
No, agreed. Very much so. Mel, what about you?
I think of all three are listening to this is a great three-piece. All of them, my first one I think was my favorite, and the second one was my least favorite. I think because at first I was even thinking of it myself, like, okay, was it 2 or 3? Which one do I like? Which one's the low one on my totem pole? And the more I thought of it, I realized, like, with the second one, I was losing track of bringing in the 2 of the other characters, Spore and Keytree. I couldn't keep it straight in my head, along with what the problem was, how the solution with Abel. I had an issue getting my mind wrapped around that.
Mm-hmm.
But even though I'm not the biggest romance person, they done okey doked me in that third one, where by the time I was so invested and I kept all my timey-wimey stuff straight, I knew what was going on. I'm like, I got this. I was so proud of myself. And then I realized, bam, you got hit with the one of the romances of all time. So I'm like, no, this is my thing. Okay, fine. I'm already in it. And I love it. I'm crying and weeping. So strong number 2 on that one. Second one was my least favorite. And then, one matchmaking was just, I really liked it. I liked how antagonistic they were. I liked that they dealt with the fact that, this is River's, this is the Doctor. Of course, she always loves every Doctor. And here's one that's the rejection. So,
I did love on the second one, the cold opening that they had. And, the Doctor was going through getting a notification about, the most important woman in the universe. And even, oh no, not her. And then they went into the theme, and exactly.
You could hear him deflate.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Which was just awesome. And it was awesome also because you were trying to think the whole time, how is the Ninth Doctor going to end up forgetting River Song, type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
because he has to.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, oh, is she going to use the lipstick? But the way they did that was perfect about the time bubble, and it was just so wonderful, and how the coral mimics the everything that they see, and like the mug, and the body parts and everything, and then even the 2 lovers laying together. It was just, that was how it remembered. It was just like chef's kiss completely with that. And I enjoyed all 3 stories. And, like even the Adam and Eve of the galaxy, was just like, the whole thing with that is like, legends never are what they actually say they are.
Yes.
And, and we could have a whole episode just about legends and, who these people were really. And we probably could get into a lot of trouble with that, with a lot of different sects.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, we're not going to go there. But it was just, it's like the whole thing, never meet your heroes because they never live up to what your expectations are.
Mm-hmm.
And, as the doctor was saying in that story, I had to read the books about these people, in, growing up, and, they were all knowing, all knowledgeable. And the wife was beating the crap out of the husband, which I loved.
Yes.
He had some line that was hilarious, and I cannot for the life of me remember what exactly it was, but him saying, like, River going, why are you staying there doing nothing, while the two of them start beating each other, having just a knockdown drag out funny fight. And the doctor was just said something like, I'm watching like my childhood dreams or whatever just being ripped apart in front of my eyes, something like that. And it was just, I wasn't ready for that comedy.
Exactly. And and it was awesome. Spore was so, such the artist, the dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
And his wife was like, you're an idiot. Do something, I'm doing everything here. And while you're drawing pretty pictures, it's like, and it was just so damn true. And I was just like listening to it, and it's like, oh my God, that's me and Judy half the time, so it was perfect. So, and, it was just great. And I loved how Alex and Chris played off each other. They hated each other when they first met. Oh, you're that doctor, type thing. And it's like, and it's like, oh, you're a criminal, miss. I know who you are now, archaeologist,
Yeah.
And it's, there was just so much good in this. And it was interesting because we got 3 strong stories.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them didn't hold up as well, but the stories itself were really, really strong with this. And that's one of the things I liked about it. And the characters held up in it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
definitely.
Well, I mean, it was really nice to have stories that explored how complicated relationships are, and not in a superficial way, and in a very realistic, and I mean, including the drama, including the comedy, the wonderfulness, the horror, that everything that goes into that, and doing it on a fairly deep level. I mean, it had great dialogue. The performances are great. I mean, I think this is one of the best Big Finishes we've listened to, I think, because it's just all, a lot of times in a Big Finish, you'll get like 2 good stories and 2 okay stories, or, one really bad story. And these all hold up to a certain degree. I'm not saying there aren't some niggling problems sometimes, but they all pretty much hold up. And I really enjoyed them.
I agree. I think these ones, as much as I want to like say, okay, this was the best one, this was the worst one, as of the 3 of them total, I know I will be listening to this one again because I was entertained during each one thoroughly.
Yes.
No, agreed with that completely. It's nice because we got 3 solid stories. A lot of times, especially, and I hate to say this again, in the Diary of River song, you get one stronger story, and then the 3 are just like, meh, type thing. And especially in the later ones, and which is sad because Alex is so good playing River song. And, on the flip side of that, this makes me so sad because wishing we would have gotten more Chris as the doctor on TV.
Because he's amazing.
Yes.
He's so good.
And I'll listen to him do the doctor anytime. He is so good as the doctor. And it's nice because you could tell he's having a good time doing this. He's just not phoning it in for a paycheck at all.
Yeah, no. I've never heard Eccleston do anything audio or, just audio driven drama based, period, whether it's reading or like in this frame. And to me, I mean, he took to it like just not saying anything about his professionalism, but he took to it like just in a fish in water. It's just all the beats felt right. That was the Doctor, and it felt like it was I could, even with the Foley, I could feel that the Doctor was running around. I felt like, just from a production standpoint, this was me listening to a show. I could even the beginning to hear the Ninth Doctor's theme. In my mind's eye, I could see Christopher Eccleston come out and then go away, and then see the words Alex Kingston, and then
yep, exactly.
So it really just felt right.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know if they were in the same studio for this one, or if this was still on location?
I think. Well, if you think about it, most of these audios are done at least 2 years in advance, and so, this is probably 2022. So this was still COVID. So
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
The odds are,
it was 2023.
It just makes it all that much more impressive.
It was last year?
10th and 13th of March, 2023.
Okay,
recorded at the Sound House.
So there's a
it
good
looks
shot.
like they've been into the studio.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah, I could have easily looked at the production credits. Duh, silly me.
That's what I'm doing.
Exactly. See, at least one of us is doing their job tonight.
Exactly.
Gordon's away. We're all playing hooky. What the hell?
Right.
He's such a taskmaster. But yeah, it's pretty awesome, and it's nice to be able to have Doctor Who stories that are fun, that they're entertaining, and to some people brought a tear to their eyes, or so and it's good. It's a good thing, that some people have emotions. Not like me, I have a black heart, so it's okay.
I'm a robot. That's what threw me off.
Okay.
I am an absolute robot when it comes to anything emotional, and it just snuck itself right into my heart and went, "Ha, you have emotion now."
It's like there's a little spark, and in that moment, Melanie's heart grew 3 sizes.
And then I immediately rusted.
But I mean, also, it has it's not just the writing. The writing is good, but it's also the performances, because especially during that last story, Christopher and Alex they make that so believable. They do not start at a point where they're deeply in love, or you get the feeling they're deeply in love. They're starting at a point of, I am so pissed with you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And it's just so realistic, the journey they go on to get to the point at the end where they're obviously in love. And what kind of love doesn't matter.
Mm-mm.
It's the love is there, obviously.
Well, I love that they agreed that they were going to be friends, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And it just grew from there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just beautiful. And, because you have to think about it, as they said, when you're in the time bubble, everything else outside doesn't exist. You're basically, you can age, you could possibly, hurt yourself or whatever. But when you leave, it's like none of that happened. And it's just incredible. And the aging, and they sound like they've been together for so long at the end, towards the end of the story, which is just amazing. And
also that they're both breaking down. They're both, things are getting worse and worse and worse, and they are both physically disabled. And it's amazing that they are able to portray that in an audio, but you get that feeling. It comes across that they are struggling.
If it would have gone off, would have Eccleston's Doctor regenerated into Tennant then?
Oh, intriguing.
Oh, and then come out of the bubble and never happened.
Exactly. Because for the rest of the story, he'd be going, what?
Yeah.
So.
But I did like how they had that the animosity kind of fun wise was still there even when they were old, because it's you need to help me up. Well, I need to move. I can't get over there. You needed to have, it reminded me of my grandparents when they were at the, toward the end of their time, both of them in their walkers, and yet they're yelling at each other, move out of the way, or even trying to pick it up and like joust each other with their canes because they were just having fun still.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of felt that's what it reminded me of when she was trying to get up and move, and like he's trying to prod her to like, come on, you get sometime today, please. And it's just like, are you really?
Yeah,
I love it because to me that's
a lot
that's
of couples that's called flirting. So it's,
yeah.
So it's,
if you're not a robot.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not a robot.
Exactly. So it's awesome. And, I did like it. I did like the characters of, that you also had, Bethany, but she likes to go by Beth. And I liked how she said, that pretty much she's asexual and that, she didn't really even want to be dating, but the machine was making her, the app. And it was, I'm glad they called for her. And I loved when the guy was like, oh, this is all taken care of. Do you want to go out on a date now? And she was like, no. And I was like, yes.
No. And ended that. No.
Consistency.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So I thought it was good. I didn't really, the characters of Abel, that was kind of dumb,
When he started giggling, it threw me off. Every time he started laughing or giggling, it made me kind of go,
Yeah. It was very...
It was inconsistent there.
Yeah, it was sort of like pantomime villain at that point. And it's like, you don't need to do that.
No, exactly. Leave that for the meddling monk or Missy, So it's, it was fun overall. And, I was surprised when they, continued the story into the second one from the dating app. And I was fully expecting, or they can continue into the third, but there was no reference of it at all, which was perfect.
Yeah, that's good because we'd had enough of Abel.
And so I thought that was, I didn't want anything to do with Abel. I didn't want any of the other characters from the first two stories returning or anything. Well, other than the Doctor and River Song, of course, but
Yeah.
But it was.
I don't know. The couple that owned the restaurant,
I loved it.
I would love to go back to that restaurant.
I love them. Like, what? No, that's my wife. I love my wife. How dare you,
darling?
A future doctor needs to go. It's like, I know the perfect restaurant.
Exactly. I know the perfect restaurant, and they start arguing, and it's like, and I loved how he said, "But he was your type." It's like, what do you mean, my type? Stay away from the staff. It's like, they're the quibbling between all the different characters. Thumbs up there, folks. Obviously, definitely someone who's been in a relationship for a while knows that one.
That's exactly how it goes.
Exactly. It's like, yep. I have bruises on my arm because of that relationship type thing, so it's good. So
they're love marks. Love tats.
Okay. All right, folks. Let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and rate this 1 out of 5 TARDISes. But basically, would we recommend this for folks to listen to and everything?
1 rating or 3?
1.
1. Okay.
For all 3. So I think that I don't want to go ahead and rate
it. It just gets too convoluted otherwise.
Exactly. So, but Dave, if you want, you could do all 3, but the rest of us will, do
add up
just
your
one.
3 and take an average.
Exactly. All right, Mary.
So I'm trying to do math in my head.
Mary, I'm going to let you go first since you put Dave in his place.
Yeah, I'm sure he's quaking.
Yes, I could tell.
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed this one. I highly recommend it. There's like a few little quibbles, like the one in the middle, kind of goes off the rails a bit. But yeah, I think I'll give it a 4.5 because it is fun. It is just fun. The performances are great. The writing is good. The production values are great. Thank God the music is not intrusive in the way it is in the Diary of River Song. And I totally enjoyed it. Everyone, if you're going to get into Big Finish, this is a great one to start with because it is just a whole lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. If you're a fan of either of those main characters, please, definitely worth it. And you'll find a lot of familiarity in it. So it's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And it's not like, is that Chris Eccleston starting as you know it's him right away, which is really awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay, Dave, give it to us.
If I had to split them up, it would be a 4, 4, and a 3, but out of 5. But I'm gonna just give it all a 4.
Okay.
As a whole, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Mel, you're up.
The more I kind of think of that, I think I'm actually just gonna go with a 5 because
Wow.
while
Awesome.
I don't want to reserve 5s only for the absolute perfect, oh my Lord goodness, perfect, but the faults are they're allowable, and even then, against like we've said, the production was amazing, the Foley was amazing, the quality of the audio was amazing, the editing was amazing. So everything from a production standpoint, very strong. Writing, very strong. Performance of all the actors, especially with the 2 leads, oh my Lord, strong.
Yes.
But the even more so why I want to give it a 5 is, as Mary kind of touched on, this is one that I would recommend. This is like one of those that not only would I recommend it, but if you've never been into Big Finish, this would be a good one to start, because if you've watched one of the episodes, this I think would be a very good, try it out. Yeah, it's Doctor Who. It's going to be, some parts are going to be great. Some parts might not just hit you right, but it's all very solid. So I'll go with a 5 to listen to the whole little, the 3 of them.
Yeah, and they flew by. The stories did not drag.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a couple parts where it was just like, what, type thing, and that's why I'm giving this one a 4.5. There was a couple parts where it was just like my mind started wandering, and I started, going onto the computer and surfing, while listening. But then it pulled me right back in, which was great. And there's some Big Finish I won't ever listen to, again. And there's others, I want to listen to over and over. An example is like Spare Parts with the 5th Doctor.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Is one of my favorites. And also Paul McGann doing Shada was great. But, this, I think, ranks up there with it. I think it's a lot of fun. And I've listened to other Eccleston stuff that he's done. I think this one is my favorite, truthfully. Mm-hmm. And so definitely recommend this. And I agree with what everyone else is saying. This is a good starting point. If you have not heard any other Big Finish, folks, this is a great place to do it. And you know what? Big Finishes aren't that expensive per se, and especially when they're on sale. So, and they do have sales all the time. So definitely, one of the other things I loved is that you had Eccleston at the beginning of every episode. This is Big Finish,
Yes.
That was was awesome and everything. And it was like, I didn't know if they were going to, because that was when I listened to his other stuff, I haven't heard him say that. So it's just like, yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad he's doing it. So, definitely check it out, folks. And you know what? Let us know what you think. Feedback at ourstationwho.com is the best way. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, leave a comment underneath. We'd really appreciate it. And so, folks, as we like to say, if you made it this far into the video or into the podcast, like and subscribe. It's how we know that you guys are listening and that you guys are we see our numbers, and, our numbers are doing really good compared to, pre-new season of Doctor Who. So we do appreciate that everyone's sticking around. And you know what? Thank you for myself, Mary, and Mike Gordon, who's at the 7 Seas right now. So it's always good. You know what? We do appreciate it. And we're going to be going still all the way through till next seasons and seasons after and seasons after. It's going to be a while before we get to Trial of the Time Lord. That's all I can say with that, because, when we get to that, it's the end. So it's always good. Let's thank our crew for being here tonight. Mr. Dave, thank you as always, my friend.
Always a pleasure to be here. Anytime you want me, I'm at your disposal.
Wow. I like how he thinks. That's pretty awesome. So that's good. Anything you want to promote or shout out about?
You can always find me at therathole.ca, or depending on the platform, the Rathole DOTCA, because not everyone likes having that actual dot in the names. Other than that, if you're listening to this on the day it was released, you can find me at Falcon 37 in Calgary, playing a bunch of games, doing some streaming. But other than that, you can find me here, hopefully, in the future.
Oh, you definitely will. Most definitely will. I think you'll be seeing these two faces quite a bit on the show.
Yay!
So it's always a good thing. Melanie, thank you as always, my friend.
Oh, thank you. I love always coming in on and chatting Doctor Who and all my many tangents that you guys are okay with, and then not being banished by talking about shipping. Anyway. This episode has made me more appreciative of the River and Doctor
dynamic
relationship, because I was never, again, I'm a robot. So this one really kind of made me feel more, okay, it's not just youthful exuberance or anything like that. So this one really did kind of make me go, oh, okay, I can really see the chemistry between these two. When it's two people who aren't the opposites attract, as she was explaining all the qualities she helped when she was blasting baddies away.
Exactly. It's interesting that I loved the characters, and the dynamic was just awesome. You want to promote your artwork?
You can find me on Instagram at Pieces of Melee. Right now, I am frantically going a little crazy because this weekend I will be at Tampa Bay Comic Con. So lots of fun people are going to be there. Hayden Christensen's going to be there. So I'm very Star Warsy. But Harvey Guillen,
what we do
from
in
what
the
we do in the shadows. He's going to be there.
Guillermo.
So that makes me
just say Guillermo.
Guillermo. Yes. So I'm going to Gizmo.
Yes. Everyone's coming except for you, Guillermo.
except for you. Yeah, he's going to be there. So if you're in the Tampa Bay, Florida-ish area, you don't mind driving and all that kind of fun stuff, check out Tampa Bay Comic Con. It's a nice, fun little, not too little, but it's not San Diego big, but
no,
it's not.
That's a nice size show. That's a nice size
Yeah.
show, especially for Tampa. So it's perfect.
Yep.
Yay. And Ms. Mary Ogle, thank you as always.
Thank you. What a great one to talk about.
Always. You want to promote your stuff?
Well, if you would like to see my artwork in person and you're local to the Tallahassee area, you can find me in a show at Lemoyne Arts, which is a gallery downtown. There's a show called Her Temple, which will be going on August 22nd to September 21st. Lots of great women empowered artists. Just, oh my God, the paintings in this are incredible. So yeah, everybody, if you're around, please take a chance to go see it. You can find my other artwork at maryogle.com or on Etsy at eVision Arts.
Excellent. Folks, if you get a chance to see Mary's art, it's amazing what she does. And you know what? Helps support local artists. It's the best thing in the world you can do. I'm always in awe when I go to art galleries and see what the creative minds come up with. It's just awesome. And, and then there's Dave. So it's okay, with that. So it's good. So it's a good thing. So folks, I've been criticized that I have not promoted my other podcast that I produce. I am the producer of the Tales from Hollywoodland podcast. We have already been doing it for over a year now, and we are growing and growing. Our numbers are going through the roof, which is always nice. If you want to hear three old guys talk and fetch about old Hollywood and then whine about what there's no good Hollywood stuff out there now, check it out. It's always a great thing.
Three old guys with great connections.
Oh, these guys are awesome. If you get a chance, our newest episode just went live. It is a best of episode, actually. And we are doing their favorite comedians and who would be up on the Mount Rushmore of comedy. So pretty awesome stuff we talk about. And we've got some great topics coming up soon. And I know this next week we're talking about Sammy Davis Jr. So that should be awesome. So, the Candyman himself. So it's pretty cool. So definitely check it out, talesfromhollywoodland.com or wherever fine podcasts are found. Folks, we'll be back again in 2 weeks. And until then, my name is Mike Faber. We do appreciate you. And like and subscribe if you get a chance. We will see you on behalf of myself, Melanie, Dave, and Mary. Thank you so much. We will see you on Earth Station Who. Let's get into the TARDIS. Woo!
You have been listening to Earth Station Who, a pop culture podcast dedicated to all things Doctor Who, featuring talents from throughout space and time. All topics on the show are the sole opinions of the individuals and are to be used for entertainment value alone. You can subscribe to our show wherever fine podcasts are found, or check out our website, earthstationwho.com. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook or Instagram, and if you enjoyed the show, please write to us at feedback@earthstationwho.com. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you on the next journey of Earth Station Who.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.